Good morning to those of you who are watching this. This is like a lot of my videos are going to be off the cuff. Found something, resonated with me, resonated with things I remember about the programs and all that other stuff. I got my coffee here. And basically, it's this company Palantir who I keep on telling you guys, not to be the bearer of bad news here, but they're just using the illegal immigrant crisis as an excuse to develop technologies and set it up legally so that they can just start targeting people without using due process. That's literally all it is. Like, it is by no exaggeration a fast track to fascism, a fast track to you not being able to move freely and being monitored everywhere you go and having to do papers, please let me see your papers. That's what this shit is turning into. ICE does not have the same, it's not held to the same standards as the rest of the government, and it doesn't have to uphold the Constitution. Look into it. It's fucked up. So if you care about the Constitution, you should care about what's happening right now. So we're going to get into it right away. There's a video by More Perfect Union, which has some great videos that just kind of show a lot of the corruption going on in this world. I recommend their channel on myself.
It's one thing to criticize your former employer. It's taboo to do that. But to criticize an employer that also owns extremely lethal technologies and surveillance technologies that are highly invasive and used in war zones is something else entirely.
It's 2025. We're all kind of used to government surveillance. The idea that we're all being watched all the time and don't own our own personal data has become normalized. We're also used to the military spending vast amounts of our money on just a few giant defense contractors. But one tech company wants to change both of those things
and become the ultimate military contractor and the ultimate arbiter of all of our data.
Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies and on occasion kill them.
Check out Palantir shares surging 22% after the company cited a boom in demand for its AI software from the U.S. government.
We're doing it. We're doing it. And I'm sure you're enjoying this as much as I am.
Palantir.
See, like, these guys don't understand what they're if they knew where this can lead and how all the dominoes fall, they'd be like, it's not worth all the money and success and recognition. They wouldn't be doing this.
A tech company based here in Denver claims they can revolutionize government systems with their data analysis software, newly powered by artificial intelligence.
They've been hired by the Department of Defense, the FBI, local police departments, and even the IRS and Wendy's to take in the information those organizations collect even more information, and use that data to draw conclusions.
It can be used to completely reconfigure organizations' ontology, its reality, what systems matter, what information matters, what processes matter, how they are structured, what biases are introduced at each of those stages.
We talked to a former Palantir employee, dug into decades of research, and listened to hours of Alex Karp's own words to unwrap the layers of Palantir's carefully cultivated sales pitch, how they capitalize on fear, uncertainty, and unrest.
I don't think in win-lose, I think in domination. This is a company built for bad times. Bad times mean strong finances internally. Bad times are very good for Palantir because we build products that are robust, that are built for danger.
That's really scary, isn't it? To hear a guy be like, yeah, my company does great when the world is suffering and when everything's bad. So therefore, I want everything to be bad. This guy sounds like a real fucking go-getter, doesn't he, guys?
Let's rewind a little.
Palantir's story starts with one of the most effective things a company can have for sales: fear.
After the September 11th attacks, the United States government began expanding surveillance both at home and abroad. This was, of course, a boon for the defense industry at large. Simultaneously, the Silicon Valley tech industry was growing fast and making people in a once obscure industry very, very rich, very, very quickly. Like the founders and executives at PayPal, known as the PayPal Mafia. Elon Musk, Reid Hoffman, the LinkedIn guy, and Peter Thiel. When PayPal was sold, Thiel had millions of dollars burning a hole in his pocket, and an idea. PayPal had developed systems for detecting fraud and crimes on the platform. What if they could use similar thinking to analyze the world at large? So Thiel pulled from his network to build out a new company. One of the first hires was Thiel's Stanford Law School roommate, Alex Karp, who'd gone on after Stanford to get a PhD in not business or computer.
What's wild to me about this is like, all right, full disclosure, as always, I'm showing this because this lines up with the things I remember in the future, like a really bad future that we could end up in. And I've been warning you about Elon Musk. I've been warning you about this guy, how I saw him at the feeding parties. Who knows? Maybe he got out of that, the hunting parties. And Mothers of Darkness Castle. I've told you all about it, all right? And this is what they're doing. They're setting up the world to be completely dominated by AI to the point that there's no human freedom anymore. The fact that the truther movement has people in it saying Elon Musk and Trump are doing great things and we should all just hoorah, cheered on. I can't even describe to you how much that hurts me. I really can't. Like, these people are going to ruin the planet Earth if we let them. That's not the truther movement. People who want disclosure, we don't exist to cheer this on. We are supposed to exist as a buffer to stop this.
And one other thing I should add.
I can't hear you. What are you saying?
One other thing I should add is a Palantir is that orb in the Lord of the Rings. A Palantir is that orb that Saruman uses to spy on people for Sauron.
Palantir is the orb that Sauron uses to spy on people. Wait, what? Can you just come here and say it? Like,
in the Lord of the Rings, a Palantir is the orb that Sauron used to spy on Middle Earth, basically. So it's a spy device.
These people are transparently villains. It's transparent.
Science or engineering, but neoclassical social theory. They named the company Palantir after the Palantiri from J.R.R. Tolkien's
they literally
Lord
say
of the
that.
Rings.
They say that in the video, babe. You didn't.
In Lord of the Rings, the Palantir Stone is a magical object that allows its users to predict the future or to see what's going on in a remote location.
It was originally created
How does that not scare the shit out of people?
by the elves. It was meant to be used for good purposes. It is potentially a very dangerous technology. It's very powerful.
Long have you hunted me?
So that's Middle Earth, but what does Palantir do in a regular Earth?
And what we do is we use what legal scholars call predicate-based search. So we would look at you, and then we would go out and say, oh, there's lots of different things in your life that may be indicative of someone involved in bad behavior.
Put simpler, they make software that makes it easier.
This is literally what I said was in my brain. They put this in my fucking brain and forced me to kill people with it. Like, this is it! This is fucking it! Like, do you not see how I'm reacting to this? This is real! This is dangerous! This is going to cause serious harm! This technology is Pandora's box!
For their customers to collect and analyze data, and then act on that analysis with and without AI.
This is the technology that told me when that little girl who was holding that flower up to me, that I thought to myself, there's no way this is a combatant threat. There's no way the computer's going to tell me to kill her. It did. It told me to fucking kill her. This is that technology. These psychopaths, these evil fucking morons, are the people making the technology that was forcefully put into my brain when I was turned into a cyborg by military agencies. I swear to God, the fact that this video only has 14 views, 11, people fucking dropped off during me saying that. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, oh, the horror porn is just too strong. It's too strong. Like, you got people cheering this shit on. They put this technology in my brain. They forced me to use it. They forced me to use it to kill people.
2013, 10 years after their founding, Palantir's client list included the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the Marines, the Air Force, Special Operations Command, and more.
Did your company help to track and kill Osama bin Laden?
You know, we can never. I'll tell you, the closest thing to an answer is there are when you look at when you open the paper and look in the news about these kind of things, there's a 2/3 chance, depending on the country involved, that somehow my company was involved.
Fundamentally, the mission that is pushed to employees is that we're solving the world's hardest problems and supporting Western institutions. That is the main driver of sort of this militaristic culture that is developed inside of Palantir.
If you do not feel comfortable supporting the legitimate efforts of America and its allies in the context of war, don't join Palantir.
This entire message of like, we are the most lethal, we are the most able to surveil and process large amounts of data.
You have created the system.
This was put in my brain, people. This was put in my fucking brain. This technology that you're looking at right now, I have memories of it being in my head.
Which you call kill chain.
Privately. Publicly, the lawyers have some innocuous something like tech for the amelioration of unwanted blah blah blah. Some term we're supposed to use.
Okay, let's
just like how not Carl Sagan, the comedian. I'm having a brain fart. The famous comedian George Carlin. He talks about how they just soften everything with language. That's what this guy's doing right now. His lawyers, they soften the language of it. They make it sound totally innocuous. It's all lawyer speak. It's all PR moves to get these people to believe that they're going to save humanity. They're going to help you, and they're going to bring us to a golden age. Just listen to Lily Nova. That's what's happening right now, everybody. Cheer it on. Yay, Elon Musk and all his technocrat overlord buddies. They're going to kill us all and turn us into slaves. Yay! Fucking awesome.
For me, it's the kill chain.
Kill chain sounds good.
Kill chain isn't an original term created by Palantir. It's the more general military verbiage for this.
Who needs, liberty and human decision making and all that when you can just have safety, right? Isn't that more important? Wouldn't you rather be safe?
Series of decisions leading from identifying a target to taking their life. Palantir's contract added their software and artificial intelligence to the kill chain.
It's quicker and better and safer and more violent.
It's tech that Juan helped market.
It reduces the distance you have to the problem, but when you're able to take a step back and really see all the narratives and how they were shaped and the actual application of these technologies, your whole world starts falling apart, which is something that, definitely happened to me.
Juan didn't leave Palantir entirely for ethical reasons. He just got another job. But the reason he eventually started speaking out against Palantir came after watching the Israeli invasion of Gaza following the October 7th attacks. Palantir has contracts with the Israeli Defense Forces. The exact nature of the contracts is...
This lines up with what I'm telling you. I remember Netanyahu being in the room while they were putting a new skeleton in my skeleton, a titanium one, when they're ripping out my eyes, and putting bionic ones in me, and operating on my brain to make this technology interface with my brain. That really happened to me. Those are all real events that actually occurred. And not only that, I have proof. I have proof. This is happening. This is going to be our future. If we do not stop it now, I'm not fucking around.
Is opaque, intentionally, but there is evidence to suggest that Palantir's artificial intelligence tech was used for selecting targets in Gaza. CARP doesn't mind the controversy. In fact, it's part of the marketing.
Palantir will even pick up the projects that other companies rejected for political reasons.
We are very comfortable being unpopular.
CARP doesn't think controversy will lose Palantir customers.
Whatever is pissing them off, they're still buying the product.
Wendy's hired Palantir to help with their supply chain. Palantir works with health insurance companies to build AI for denials management to protect revenue.
Basically, this is the most evil company that exists on the planet Earth, and it needs to be disbanded and made illegal, and these guys need to be arrested as soon as possible.
Do you want Palantir's AI making decisions about what care is covered for you and your loved ones?
They also do business with for-profit hospitals, major investment banks, and even other defense contractors. In 2024, Palantir brought in nearly $2.9 billion in revenue, 55% of which came from government sources, with the vast majority being American. So let's look at their pitch to the American government. Last year, Palantir CTO Shyam Sankar put out a presentation and white paper called The Defense Reformation. He cites The Last Supper, which was a secretive 1993 meeting between defense industry executives and the Deputy Secretary of Defense. Over a dozen companies walked in, and only a few walked out. That dinner is often cited as the origin of our consolidated military-industrial complex.
And to me, I think this was the definitive moment that kicked off the financialization of defense. From that point forward, it became all about buybacks and dividends and leverage.
I want to say this right now. I do not consent. I do not consent to this technology being put into my body. I do not consent to this technology being used on me. I do not consent to any of this. I did not consent. I feel like I was a lab rat. I feel like what was done to me was a war crime on the worst possible level imaginable. If I didn't follow orders, they electrocuted me. I had a fucking thing in me where if I didn't listen to them, I got electrocuted. I had to do everything they asked me to. Do you know what it's like to have to kill people? To have to kill people. And not only just people, women, children. And you can't do anything about it. You're forced to do it. There's no worse horror than that. And these are the people that are doing this shit. These people are building this technology right now, and they're doing it with a fucking smile on their face. These people are the biggest morons on the planet Earth right now. They think they're so fucking goddamn smart. And all they're doing is building Armageddon for us and building the downfall of humanity. All they're doing is putting on us on the fast track to a dystopian hell world. That's all these fucking morons are doing. They aren't helping anything.
Ratios.
Criticizing the financialization of the defense industry, calling out stock buybacks, that doesn't sound like a defense executive. That sounds more like the exact argument about the defense industry that we have made before.
I think what's interesting to me about Palantir is how they co-opt the language of revolution.
But Sankar's argument did work on somebody, Uncle Sam. The Defense Innovation Board, an advisory group within the Department of Defense, cited Sankar's presentation multiple times in their 2024 report on why the DoD needs to divert more of their budget to emerging technology. That's giving money to Palantir. There's a reason Palantir just replaced Ford Motors in the S&P 100 in the months after Trump was elected. The Trump administration is an ideal customer for what Palantir is selling. First, there are many former Palantir employees sprinkled across the Trump administration, from inside Doge to foreign policy advisors to high-level technology appointees. And Palantir co-founder Peter Thiel, heavily invested in the company, is also heavily invested in President Trump and Vice President Vance. He was a major campaign donor to both. Then the stated goal of Doge is to streamline and combine government data, which is exactly...
We're building it. We're building the computer. And I'm telling you, please, can we not build this fucking computer? Can we not do it? Can we not be ruled by a fucking giant computer overlord? Like, I really don't want that to happen.
What Palantir does.
The ways that the government is defrauded is that the computer systems don't talk to each other.
And obviously, Karp is loving it.
Disruption, in the end of the day, exposes things that aren't working. There'll be ups and downs. There's a revolution. Some people can get their heads cut off. Like, you know, it's like we're expecting to see really unexpected things and to win.
And what is winning, according to Palantir? This is CTO Shyam Sankar in 2021.
Turning to government, we continue to advance our mission of becoming the U.S. government's central operating system as we extend our footprint across defense, healthcare, and civilian agencies.
The government's operating system. They want everything to funnel through Palantir. Palantir already has contracts with the IRS, going through taxpayer data to save auditors time by finding the easiest audits to pursue. Now, Wired reports, Doge will likely hire Palantir to create unified software for the entire IRS, a mega API that would allow anyone with access to view and possibly alter all IRS data in one place. That's all of your financial information. And they have multiple contracts with the Department of Health and Human Services, including nearly $100 million to support HHS's core administrative data and applications, to manage, ingest, and access data securely across business domains. HHS's core responsibility is Medicare and Medicaid. That's control over millions of Americans' health records and their access to healthcare. So what does it mean for one contractor to have all that power, data, and taxpayer money as profit, especially as AI gets involved?
As we kind of increasingly live in a simulated world, we lose touch with reality and the human decisions that matter, and we move closer towards...
I've literally seen this, you guys. I've literally seen it. I've literally seen it. I've literally fucking seen it. They're not kidding. This guy's not kidding.
Governance by algorithm, not only made by decisions of automated artificial intelligence systems, which is a problem, but more importantly, subject to decisions made by the people who are influencing these AI systems and creating them in order to fulfill an agenda for whatever their profit-seeking or control-seeking objectives are. And when I see DOGE kind of going into every agency and addressing the IT department first, I see it as an opportunity to try to change reality itself.
But so what? Why am I telling you all of this? Palantir has no problem being seen as Big Brother, as all-powerful, as lethal even.
We're at the brink of using these technologies potentially to run our government, to run our battlefields, and our personal lives. Using artificial intelligence as a sort of panacea solution across our federal departments, and especially when they're, again, wielded by people with a very distinct agenda, puts everyone at risk.
It almost feels like that's been the plan all along. Here's co-founder Peter Thiel in 2010 at Libertopia, a libertarian conference, speaking about tech companies and government.
The basic idea was that we could never win an election on getting certain things because we were in such a small minority. But maybe you could actually unilaterally change the world without having to constantly convince people and beg people and plead with people who are never going to agree with you through technological means. And this is where I think technology is this incredible alternative to politics.
And here's Alex Karp in 2000.
I just don't understand how it could give the truther movement such a clear warning of what's going to happen and then have them be like, oh, he did a sig heil, awesome. Let's cheer on the Nazis. How the fuck did this happen? Are we going to go down this path because the truther community has its head in its ass? Is the one buffer between humanity and this happening again going to fail?
9 on civil liberties with regards to Palantir's work.
The central question, in my view, of civil liberties is how, it's not if the government has data, because let's assume the government has as much data as a health insurance company. It's how is that data being used? Is it being used in a way that's lawful? Meaning, do they have the right to use it? And is it being migrated into places it's not allowed to be used? We allow the enforcement of rules that the government ought to enforce. And by the way, my experience is they want to enforce, or at very least know they need to enforce. And if it's framed in that way, then you can have what is the ultimate Silicon Valley solution.
One co-founder openly wants to use the power of the tech industry to affect politics. The other wants his company to have oversight over how the government data they're paid to handle is used. And the founders of Palantir will retain control in the company no matter what, through an obscure ownership structure. Their Class F shares grant them 49.99% of voting power, even if they collectively own as little as 6% of the company.
At the start of this journey, I was extremely afraid for the repercussions of this writing, of speaking out, but now I'm like, even more convinced that this is absolutely necessary.
We can't replace our current broken system with an even more broken one. And we can't let the worst people in Silicon Valley become our government.
It's not about whether you're actually at risk for speaking out or not. It's just the idea that somebody is watching you is enough to push people into silence.
100%.
If you think we will get tired, then you have no idea who you're up against.
That place is a cesspool, dude. Rumble's a cesspool. Like, yeah, I have a Rumble account. I've posted there a few times, but the place is just a cesspool. It's just a disgusting place to even go to. It's so fucking heavy duty right wing. It's just like, yeah, I don't support that.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support more nonprofit reporting into corporate greed, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you'd like to see us cover.
I've got that linked in the video. That was crazy for me to watch. I made sure to watch this and react to it live. That was fucking insane for me to watch, you guys. I remember this technology. I remember what it does, and I know how dangerous it is. Please listen to me. Please spread this video as far as you can. Please spread the truth of the fact that AI can destroy humanity and everything that we hold dear. Please, please spread this message. Thank you and have a nice day.